U.S. President Donald Trump has shared first photo of Venezuelan President Nicholas Maduro, who was captured by U.S. forces on Saturday and flown out of Venezuela. Trump posted the photo on Truth Social with the caption, "Nicholas Maduro on board the USS Iwo Jima." In the photo, Maduro has dark glass placed over his eyes and is dressed in sweatpants and a sweatshirt. The plane carrying the captured Venezuelan leader is expected to land later today at New York's Stewart International Airport, two sources familiar with the matter told local media. Earlier on Saturday, Trump addressed the nation after the United States captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and flew him out of the country in a stunning military operation early in the day that plucked a sitting leader from office. The capture was the culmination of months of escalating pressure from the Trump administration on the oil-rich South American nation. Accompanying Trump at the briefing were Pete Hegseth, the Pentagon chief, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and Stephen Miller, a top White House aide overseeing Homeland Security matters. The U.S. is now evaluating next steps for Venezuela, Trump said. Maduro and his wife, taken overnight from their home on a military base, were aboard a U.S. warship on their way to New York, where they were to face criminal charges.
Okay, thank you very much. This is big stuff. We appreciate you being here. Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicholas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer. All perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have.
President Nicolas Maduro and First Lady Cilia Flores are missing and their whereabouts unknown to the Venezuelan government, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez confirmed to state TV on Saturday morning. "We do not know the whereabouts of President Nicolas Maduro and First Lady Cilia Flores," Rodriguez said. "We demand proof of life," said Rodriguez during a telephone call to Venezolana de Television. According to Associated Press, it was not immediately clear who was running the country, and Maduro's whereabouts were not immediately known. The U.S. confirmed attacks on Venezuelan soil, and President Donald Trump said Maduro was captured and flown out of the country. Rodriguez said it was an eventuality Maduro had already foreseen and for which he prepared a military defense plan. President Maduro had already been very clear and had warned the Venezuelan people that an aggression of this nature could occur due to the desperation of the United States' energy voracity. The United States hit Venezuela with a large-scale strike early Saturday and said its president, Nicolas Maduro, had been captured and flown out of the country after months of stepped-up pressure by Washington. An extraordinary nighttime operation announced by President Donald Trump on social media hours after the attack. Multiple explosions rang out and low-flying aircraft swept through Caracas, the capital, as Maduro's government immediately accused the United States of attacking civilian and military installations. The Venezuelan government called it an imperialist attack and urged citizens to take to the streets. Trump announced the developments on Truth Social shortly after 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Under Venezuelan law, the vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, would take power. There was no confirmation that had happened, though she did issue a statement after the strike. Trump set a news conference for later Saturday morning. The legal implications of the strike under U.S. law were not immediately clear. The White House did not immediately respond to queries on where Maduro and his wife were being flown to or if the Justice Department intended to follow through on prosecuting him on federal charges. Maduro was indicted in March 2020 on narco-terrorism conspiracy charges in the Southern District of New York. Maduro last appeared on state television Friday while meeting with a delegation of Chinese officials in Caracas. The explosions in Caracas, Venezuela's capital, early on the third day of 2026, at least 7 blasts sent people rushing into the streets, while others took to social media to report hearing and seeing the explosions. It was not clear if there were casualties on either side. The attack itself lasted less than 30 minutes and it was unclear if more actions lay ahead, though Trump said in his post that the strikes were carried out successfully. The Federal Aviation Administration issued a ban on U.S. commercial flights in Venezuelan airspace because of ongoing military activity ahead of the explosions.
Realmente estamos más que indignados. El pueblo venezolano está indignado. La cuna de nuestro padre libertador, la capital, Caracas, fue atacada. La capital, ciudad que vio nacer al libertador de la patria grande, que vio nacer al hombre más grande de nuestro continente, ha sido vulnerada, ha sido atacada y agredida. Ante esta brutal situación y ante este brutal ataque, nosotros desconocemos el paradero del presidente Nicolás Maduro y de la primera dama Cilia Flores. Exigimos al gobierno del presidente Donald Trump prueba de vida inmediata de la vida del presidente Maduro y de la primera dama. El presidente Maduro ya había sido muy claro y había advertido al pueblo venezolano de que una agresión de esta naturaleza, por la desesperación de la voracidad energética de los Estados Unidos, podía presentarse. Y lo primero que le dijo el presidente Maduro al pueblo de Venezuela fue: pueblo a la calle, activado en milicia, activado todos los planes, ha dado órdenes muy claras a la Fuerza Armada Nacional Bolivariana para que en perfecta fusión militar, popular y policial se activaran todos los planes de defensa integral de la nación, y quedan así activados con el decreto que fue suscrito por el presidente Nicolás Maduro decretando la conmoción externa.